What's going on YouTube? So when Ram first announced that the mighty TRX was going to be discontinued, there were a lot of sad people. And while someday we expect to see a full successor to that awesome 702 horsepower beast, today we have the privilege of going hands-on with the new top performance truck in the Ram lineup, the 2025 RHO. This high-performance off-road truck certainly packs a punch and has the F-150 Raptor in its sights. So, is this the ultimate performance truck for you? Well, let's take a detailed first look and find out. So the Ram lineup for 2025 is split into three distinctions. So you have core, luxury, and sport trim levels. The RHO is going to be the top sport trim level, and that's because this is the highest performance option in the lineup. So what you're going to find is basically a combination of a lot of elements you had on the previous TRX, but also with the 2025 refreshed elements that we covered very extensively a few months ago with other models in the Ram lineup. So up here in the front, what we have is a very aggressive grille. So you'll notice, just like other Ram products, our Ram branding has actually moved up higher in the face, but this has the flow-through lettering. So as you can see, Ram does not block off any of the airflow, being able to get you maximum airflow into the engine. Now the grille itself is quite large, and you'll notice up here at the top, speaking of airflow, we also have a big hood scoop up there, which is fully functional. You have your RHO branding up there, as well as the black finish. And overall, it just looks very aggressive with how domed this hood is. Now, speaking of aggressive look, you're probably noticing that we have marker lights up here in this area, and that's because this RHO is extremely wide. This is actually 88 inches wide, which is 8 inches wider than the other Ram models, and that's just really what gives it so much presence. And it just looks absolutely fantastic here in person. Now, speaking of lighting, let's talk about our headlights. As you can see, we do have premium full LED headlights. We have the latest signature, so you've got the daytime running light and turn signal indicator running through here. We also have little accents, which kind of run through the center section. And of course, like I said, these are projector LEDs. You'll also find that you have LED fog lights down below. Down here on our lower fascia, we are going to continue to have a ton of ground clearance. You have your recovery hooks as well, and you have a metal skid plate underneath. Now moving into our wheel area, again, one of the things that really strikes me is just how flared this fender is. And then as far as the wheels themselves, we've got 18-inch beadlock capable alloy wheels on board, and these are going to be wrapped in 35-inch all-terrain tires to give you that maximum off-road capability. Now speaking of off-road capability, another thing that you have here on the RHO are your Bilstein shocks. So these are very aggressive shocks, and they're going to allow up to 13 inches of travel when you're off-roading this in high-speed situations such as Baja. Now you have some more cooling vents over here along the side. You've got your Ram branding. This model does also have the black finish along the bottom part of the door trim, and you also have that same finish up here on the mirrors, which are going to be loaded with all the goodies you'd expect for a high-end truck.
Now here at this side, you're going to see that tough truck appearance once again, and I do want to talk about how you can get the RHO Ram. Well, of course, as you can see right now, we have the crew cab with the 5-foot 7-inch bed. That is going to be the only configuration available for this RHO trim level. I also want to point out that we have blacked out door handles, and as we head to the rear, of course, our wheels are going to be very flared out, and we have special RHO branding here on the side to let them know that you have a special Ram, that is for sure. Now, as we head around to the rear design, you're going to see some of those 2025 updates reflected for the RHO, except really spiced up because this, of course, is the top Ram model when it comes to sportiness. So we have our blacked out Ram branding through here, and then for our taillights, we're going to have that new refreshed 2025 design. These are going to be full LED taillights as well. You're going to really notice how wide it is here in the rear as well. And then down here at the very bottom, we do have a rugged matte black plastic for all of your bumper surrounds. We're also going to have very aggressive exhaust pipes. So these are real exhaust pipes, and I love the fact that they're not, a fake exhaust. Ram also says that these are specially tuned for RHO duty, so it will definitely have a unique sound, especially when you compare it to other Ram high output versions. Now, as far as your tow rating is concerned, Ram says this is 8,380 pounds. Now, the tailgate on this particular unit isn't opening up, as this is very early in the production run of this vehicle. And I do also want to point out that we have some marker lights here in the back as well for that really cool look. Now, as far as your safety systems are concerned, this is a high-end Ram model, so that, of course, means you are going to have all of your safety features available, especially if you choose the high version of this Ram RHO, which we'll talk about more when we get in the inside. Speaking of the inside, let's go ahead and get into it. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
Now let's move on to the interior. Go ahead and open up the door. Of course, you're going to have smart entry and all the things you expect to see. And then taking a look inside the interior, one of the things that strikes me about the RHO is just how much luxury equipment you can get and how nice the cabin can be, despite the fact that this is a performance truck. That starts with the seats. So we're going to have Ventura real leather. That's a high-grade leather with a beautiful perforation running through it. We have a kind of suede finish here on our bolsters, and then we have RHO branding up here at the top of the seat itself. In terms of the adjustments, you have a ton of adjustments, and one of the things that's really noteworthy is the fact that this actually has power massage. So that's part of the level 1 equipment group, which is the major option package that you can get on the RHO. It's really going to give you a lot of luxury features. I'll point a lot of them out as we go through the interior. But speaking of, let's go ahead and get inside and start talking about that stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look around the cabin and the overall cabin materials first of all. So we'll start out with our door trim over here. We do have a full leather covering. We have a Alcantara trim running through here. We also have the available carbon fiber trim, which is on the door trim, and you also see it in other places in the cabin, and then more leather on the top of the door trim. Across all the top of the dashboard, we have more Alcantara, more carbon fiber. It's really a beautiful and well-executed cabin. Like I was saying, a lot of really high-quality materials inside of this RHO. We even, to kind of put the icing on the cake, get that individualized VIN number right here on top of our center console. And I apologize for the lighting, by the way. It is, I know, very dark in here, but we're doing our best. Now, let's talk a little bit about our gauge cluster. Full digital gauge cluster. We've got some nice accent lighting over here on the side. You're going to have individual RHO graphics, of course. We're also going to have a head-up display. And then as we pull back to the steering wheel, we have a really, really nice steering wheel. Smooth leather, nice bolstering on the sides as well, so it's kind of squared off a little bit to help your hands grip it better. And then we've got these really nice paddle shifters. Now, the interesting thing about these, of course, they're real metal, so that's cool, but they're actually split in half. So if Mason can kind of go around to the side, you'll see that since you have your audio controls actually on the back of the steering wheel, like all Stellantis products, we actually get 2 pieces for these paddle shifters that you can press either one of them. Now the wheel itself is manual tilt and telescoping. Heating is also available as well. And we'll roll into interior storage real quick. This is just the typical Ram that you'd expect, but there is one key difference when it comes to interior storage, and that's the fact that we actually have a traditional shifter. So, a lot of Rams have the rotary style. The RHO is going to get this traditional style shifter, which takes up a little bit of space, but you still have plenty of space, as well as your wireless chargers are retained as up there. And then you're going to get a 360 camera. You're also going to get trail camera. And one of the neat things about the trail camera that Ram was telling us about is the fact that, I'm maybe jumping the gun a little bit, but we have a passenger display. And inside of the passenger display, you can now also see the trail camera. So that's a super cool thing where actually both the driver and the passenger can use that trail camera to help you guide you through those tricky off-road situations you might find yourself in. Now, in this area where we have previously the dial, you're going to have a special drive mode controller for RHO. We've got a lot of different controls that you can go through. We look forward to testing out all of those in the future when we drive this product. We've got the advanced Harman Kardon sound system on board as well, and we have the very large 14.5-inch display. This is also going to be one of the level 1 equipment group items. This has got Uconnect 5. It's got your climate controls built into the sides of it as well, and just a lot of functions that all run inside of this really huge display. Up above, we're going to have an auto dim mirror with the digital camera system built in. You have home link remotes, and up at the very top, we have a large panoramic sunroof.
And in the back seat of this all-new Ram RHO, you are going to find a ton of room, as you would with any Ram model, especially in the crew cab configuration. About 45 inches of legroom is what you can expect. This is one of the most spacious vehicles money can buy. I believe it's the largest truck as of now when it comes to rear legroom. And you're, of course, going to retain nice features such as the reclining rear seat. So even though you have the Sport RHO version, you're not going to lose any of those really cool touches that the Ram is known for. Now, as far as features are concerned, here in the center we do have some carbon fiber trim, 2 cup holders, and we're also going to have features like heated and ventilated rear seats. So I'm assuming that will be on the high equipment group option with this RHO, but you are going to have that as an available feature. And we also have household power outlets as well as the fold-down center armrest with cup holders inside. So you're really going to have a very nice rear seat experience in this RHO.
Now, many of you guys may have thought RHO stands for really high output. That's what I was thinking. Turns out it does not. We don't really know what it stands for, as a matter of fact, but what we have under the hood is going to be the high output version of the brand new Hurricane inline 6-cylinder. So that's a 3-liter twin turbo inline 6. And power output is very impressive. 540 horsepower and 521 pound-feet of torque. Ram says this is going to be good for a 0 to 60 of 4.6 seconds with this model. Now, we don't, of course, have full specifications, but we do know this has an 8-speed automatic transmission. You are obviously going to have an advanced 4-wheel drive system, and fuel economy is something that will be rated in the coming months by the EPA. Now, speaking of, let's talk a little bit about availability. If you want one of these, you can actually order one now. So those order banks are open, and Ram expects this to be available in Q3 of this year.
Now, one of the things I'm really happy about when it comes to pricing for this Ram RHO is that Ram is targeting a more affordable price point than that previous high-performance TRX version. So we are starting at an official price of $69,990. So you're under the $70,000 price point as a starting point for this Ram RHO. Now, of course, like we said in the video, there is that one major option package that's really going to make your Ram RHO very luxurious, kind of like the limited version of the standard 1500 model, and we did get official pricing from them on that as well. They said that's going to be around a $10,000 option. So if you want one fully loaded up like what you're seeing in today's example, you can expect a price of around $79,000. And if you're looking to buy a Ram 1500 or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, why you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price on your new vehicle. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealer negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and there's a pinned comment at the top of this video. And that's also where we're going to be able to leave off on this first look review of the all-new 2025 Ram 1500 RHO. This, of course, is a very special truck, and we cannot wait to sample it out more extensively in person, outside, and eventually drive this truck for you all to see. So please hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Do yourself a favor. You won't want to miss out on content on this vehicle, as well as other vehicles that we'll be covering on this channel. If you're already a fan and subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.